Welcome back to my studio. I'm so happy that you are joining me today for another studio talk and another flower painting. Last week, I got a couple of messages on Instagram asking me how I chose my subject matter. I remember when I decided to take art seriously and that I wanted to build a career from doing art, I kind of struggled with what to paint. I knew I wanted to choose my subject matter carefully. I want to build an art portfolio that is kind of cohesive and not just consist of random subjects. I want what I paint will represent me, the artist. So after doing some research, I kind of figured out a few steps that help myself choose the subject matter for my art at the beginning of my art career. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you all the steps that I took. And to make the video a little bit less boring, instead of myself talking to the camera, I'm gonna show you how I paint the pink tulips in a glass vase. So, step 1, start with brainstorming all the ideas that seem appealing to you. And it is okay to start with broad terms like nature, fashion, portrait, animals, sport, abstract, etc. I actually wrote down the term nature. And the key is only write down the things that you are interested in. And of course, the term nature is still too broad and need to be narrowed down even more. So moving on to step 2, now that I have chosen my broad term nature, I would break it down to even smaller terms. Within nature, now I have mountains, seas, sky, lakes, parks, trees, plants, and so on. Then at step 3, I would start considering all the inspirational resources for my art. I live in the heart of Dallas, Texas. I work full-time and have 2 small kids, so it's just a little hard for me to do landscape because chances are I'm gonna have to rely on reference photos taken by other people for my art. I need a more accessible subject matter. Yes, I will be looking at other artists' works for inspiration, and yes, I will be using reference photos for my paintings, but that's not gonna be a long-term resolution. Because using actual model and painting from your own observation is ideally the best way to improve your skill. And accessible nature to me is my backyard, my dad's garden, and my mom's seasonal flowers. At this point, I was able to narrow my theme down to garden and plants. However, if you are passionate about landscape, of course, you don't have to live near the beach or mountain or have to travel extensively to be able to paint them. But it's just, my very personal tips on the process of narrowing down your subject matter. Alright, step 4, consider your skill level. So if you are a self-taught artist like myself, you probably started painting before you even know how to paint. We often have many ideas of cool things that we want to paint in everyday life, but our skills might not be quite ready for that yet. For a beginner artist, subject matters with clear, simple, basic shapes and lines are great starting points. Think about apples, lemons, eggs, cups, simple vases. In other words, simple still life are really great starting point for artists because they don't have lots of movement in them. They don't have a lot of complicated details. They are readily available and they can be arranged for better composition. For myself, at the moment, I do have some basic knowledge of shapes and forms and values, but of course, I still have a lot to learn. Especially, I need to learn more about colors. As I combine my skill level with my personal goal of learning colors, I was able to niche down further to painting flower. Have flower as a winner. I would go back and make sure that I checked all the boxes. Yes, flowers are what I truly, truly love. Love to look at them, love to be around them, and of course, love to paint them. Yes, flowers are something that to me are accessible as a subject matter. I have roses, I have Spanish lilies, and I have some wild flowers in the garden. And whenever I want to have flower as model for my painting, then I can just run to any flower shop in the Metroplex and buy them. We have Dallas Arboretum is only 12 miles away from my home studio, and that is where I can get inspired by fresh and beautiful flowers by each season. Flowers are great for my skill level as they vary in shapes and forms, and especially they are amazing in colors. I really could improve my color mixing skill by painting flowers every single day for 15 days straight. Keep in mind that when you choose a subject matter when you start out as an artist, it doesn't mean that you have to stick to it for the rest of your art career. Being consistent on your painting theme is important because it helps people recognize you. It helps define your brand, especially at the beginning. And then once you have built your audience, once your painting style is established, once you find people who love you as an artist and as a human being, they will continue to love your art no matter what you paint. So I hope those steps will help you to choose the subject matter that works for you as you begin your art career. Of course, if you are passionate about landscape, you don't have to live near the mountain or the beach, or you don't have to travel extensively to be able to paint them. Those are really just my personal tips for you. If you ask me to go with one most important factor in choosing your subject matter, I'll say go with what you really, really love. Because after all, people would buy your painting because your painting speaks to them and that they love you as an artist, as a special and unique human being, and that they really see that your love and your passion show through your painting. And like I said, even if no one enjoys what you paint, at least you've already experienced the joy of painting what you love. And that you are able to do something so meaningful to yourself. Alright, so those are all my tips for today. I hope that they provide some inspiration and help you choose your subject matters, and hope that you enjoy this pink tulip painting. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.